Natalie is back tonight from Tobin, Ramon, and Barber. We're going to talk a little bit about what probate is. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So you are an attorney.
I'm an attorney, yes. I'm an attorney. I'm not your attorney, unless and until you hire me and give me $1. So everything I'm saying this evening is for educational advice.
Right. So probate, I don't know what it is. So this is a great topic for me. What is probate?
Let's talk about it. So probate is the court case that is required, if you don't have a trust, to administrate your estate.
Okay.
So everything has to be turned into the courthouse, essentially. A case gets opened. It's a true case. It gets a little case number and everything. And then the judge oversees the administration or the distribution of your estate.
Okay.
Along with the help of an attorney. Of course, only attorneys can enter their appearance for probate.
Okay.
So whether you do your estate planning or you don't do anything at all, you'll have to go through probate, unless and until you have a trust.
Okay.
Trust is like a little bypass.
Right. And so what takes place during all of this?
Yeah, so it's a 6-month-long required time period. It can't be less, it could be more. You have to pay a lawyer like me just about every month to go to the courthouse, tell the judge, hey, yeah, everything's going fine. The will has to be filed with the courthouse, along with a big long thing called a probate petition.
Okay.
And it's basically full of legal language, and it says, hey judge, please let us file this will. Here's who this person was related to.
Okay.
Here's a copy of the will if there was one. And then you just kind of wait. So there's this delay that's built into probate.
So who is the we that's doing this? Because obviously if this is you are no longer here. Right,
exactly. Yeah.
So who's doing all this?
So it's your executor that
Okay.
you nominate in your will.
Okay.
So the executor becomes, if they hire me, my client.
Okay.
The lawyer's doing all the heavy lifting, but the executor sometimes has a difficult time navigating all of this while they've got their grief goggles on,
Of
we like
course.
to call it.
Yeah.
So usually the person that you nominate for your executor is a trusted family member or friend, and it's definitely a thankless job to be an executor.
Right.
It's a little easier to be a trustee, which is kind of like an executor for a trust.
Okay. So I think a lot of people think when they write a will that they're just like set, right?
Yeah.
People think that.
They do.
I'm like, because that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So, but that's what you're saying is if you write a will, you still have to deal with probate, but if you go the trust
Correct.
route, then you don't.
That's correct.
Okay.
So a will is better than nothing because
Right.
at least you're deciding, not the state of Illinois, where your stuff goes when you die, but you have to do it through the court system.
Okay.
So you're kind of building in time and costs on the back end
Right.
for your loved ones to have to deal with.
Right.
So in the holiday season, I would say a trust is kind of the gift that keeps on giving.
Right.
And it really is a gift for your family that you can leave beyond for when you're no longer here.
Yeah, because with the trust, it's kind of mostly clear cut.
Correct.
And
yeah,
it can
everything's
just-
baked in the cake, so to speak.
Do you have to go to court?
No.
Okay.
Unless
You might. You always
you might, right? It's like such an attorney answer.
Yeah.
If there are assets that are left in an individual's name and there's no beneficiary name,
Okay.
or they're not titled in trust, you could still possibly have to probate even if you went to the trouble of having a trust.
Okay.
So even people that already have a trust, I say, hey, come and sit with me and we'll do a checkup.
Sure.
And we'll make sure that we'll kind of do a back of the napkin asset inventory and just make sure that everything you own either has people as beneficiaries, the trust as a beneficiary, or titled in trust.
Okay.
Kind of like how all roads lead to Rome, all roads should lead to the trust somehow.
That makes sense. It's kind of, my goodness, a different way of looking at this, like a resume, right? If you don't keep updating it, but you have little
Yes.
odd jobs here or there, then they're not going to be in it.
Yes, that's a great way to put that.
If you work on it every time you get a new little job, then when you're trying to apply for a job,
Yes.
you're not missing anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you think, well, how does this affect my trust? And if that just overwhelms you to even think, how does this affect my trust? Just think, do I need to contact Natalie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because experts, always experts in my life. I don't like to do anything myself, but especially things that are like legal and, there's jargon that I don't understand and
Yeah.
a lot of other people don't either. So you're a great asset for that.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the outcome can be significant either way, good,
Right.
bad, or ugly.
Yeah.
So it's good to check to avoid any unintended consequences.
All right, if you want to reach out to Natalie or anyone with Tobin, Ramon, and Barber, attorneys at law, we got all the info right there on the screen. Coming up next, we're going to tell you all about this year's Christmas for the kids at Rascals Bar and Grill.
The preceding portion